Alright, so today it's Foundation Friday. This is where I try out a new foundation every single Friday on my channel. In the past, I've done videos taking the Sephora Foundation Finder quiz and Ulta's foundation quiz. So I'm going to link those in the eye and down below, but I actually discovered one of my favorite foundations through the Ulta foundation quiz. This is one of my go-to foundations, the Lancome Renergy Lift Foundation. So when I was scrolling on Nordstrom and saw they had a foundation quiz, I was like, hell yeah, we're doing this. So basically, Nordstrom's foundation quiz, I don't know if it qualifies as a quiz. It basically just asks you 3 questions: your skin type, coverage, and then what formula you want. To me, that's not really a quiz because it's not putting together enough things to really pop out foundations that are probably exactly what you're looking for. I basically see it as a little marketing thing to get people to think they're having like a custom foundation experience. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you my quiz. So the first category is your skin type. I selected dry. That is currently my skin. I noticed they don't have a normal, which was interesting. They only have dry, oily, combination, sensitive, or aging. I also don't like that they put aging in here. You can have aging skin. I mean, everyone's skin is aging, but you can have more mature skin and have dry skin or have oily skin. So if that's the case and they put that in the same category, you should be able to select multiple. You can only select one here. For coverage, I put full coverage. Pretty self-explanatory. And then for formula, I put liquid. Okay, so then it pops out my results. So I have a Foundation Friday playlist where I have hundreds of foundation reviews. If you ever want to know if I've reviewed a specific foundation, you can search the Tela and the name of the foundation in the YouTube search bar and it should pop right up. So a lot of these I do have full reviews on. A lot of them I reviewed when I had oily skin. I now have dry skin since being off Accutane. So some of my thoughts on these foundations have changed since I've tried them again on dry skin. These are the results for dry skin. So keep that in mind. So they show Estee Lauder Double Wear. That's actually one of my least favorite foundations. It looks horrible on my dry skin. It looked super cakey on my oily skin too. I've never been a fan of that foundation. I have an older review on the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. I do want to try that one again since I've had dry skin. Clinique Beyond Perfecting was one of my favorite foundations when I had oily skin and acne. It has great coverage. I would say that one falls under the full coverage category for this. Since I've had dry skin, I haven't tried it out a whole lot. MAC Studio Fix, I definitely would not recommend for dry skin. This one popped up by Estee Lauder that I have never heard of. It is $100. It's the Re-Nutriv Ultra Radiance makeup. That one, not gonna lie, I'm a little bit intrigued by. Let me know if you guys want to see that. It's friggin' $100. Lancome Tint Idol Ultra, I have a whole video on that too. Don't like that one with dry or oily skin. It just doesn't sit well on my skin. It looks very makeup-y. Lancome Renergy Lift, they actually recommended. So same as Ulta, and that is one of my favorite foundations. It is not full coverage, so I definitely wouldn't put it in this category. You can build it up, but it is closer to light coverage for sure. But the foundation I ended up going with was one that I haven't heard, I don't think, anything about on YouTube, so I was just super intrigued. And also the packaging sucked me in a little bit on this one, not gonna lie. This is the Bobbi Brown Intensive Skin Serum Foundation. So this foundation retails for $69. You get 1 fluid ounce of product. So this is a pricey foundation, but it is supposed to have kind of like added skincare ingredients in it as well. I actually did not order this on Nordstrom. I went on to Bobbi Brown because they were having a 25% off sale, and they also had more shades on Bobbi Brown. So on Nordstrom, they only have 13 shades. On Bobbi Brown's website, they have 20. They have more deep shades on Bobbi Brown's website, so if you're not seeing your shade on Nordstrom, then check Bobbi Brown. But I actually also wanted to order on there because the shade that I thought I was going to be, they didn't have on Nordstrom. Whoa, it's like choked on air. I ended up picking up the shade Cool Ivory 1.25. I think I've tried one other Bobbi Brown foundation, and the shade 00 Alabaster was too light for me. So knowing that and then looking up some foundation swatches, what I could find on Google of this foundation, I thought I was going to be closer to this. You guys will see in the application. I'm sure you can see it on my face right now. It is definitely too dark. I should have gone with a lighter shade. We'll show you guys swatches like usual in a second. But first, the description of this says it has active skin energizing complex. Silky serum foundation recharges the skin's appearance while providing an instant luminous finish. The formula is supposed to help prevent collagen damage and fight the visible signs of aging. It's interesting because this one actually has SPF 40. Some of the shades on Bobbi Brown's website have SPF 30. Not sure why there's a difference there. Quick note on packaging. It is a heavy, feels like a glass bottle. I personally think it is gorgeous. One of the most beautiful foundations I've seen. I love the black on black packaging. It has a dropper applicator here. I'm going to insert swatches right here so we can see what the Bobbi Brown foundation in the shade 1.25 Cool Ivory looks like compared to some of my other foundations. Alright, so swatch time. Right here is the Bobbi Brown Skin Serum Foundation in 1.25. Next over is Lancome Renergy Lift in 140. This is actually Dermacol 207 today, not 208. I actually couldn't find 208. Thought this was 208 when I swatched it. Definitely not. Estee Lauder Double Wear 1C0. CYO Life Proof in 101. And L'Oreal True Match in W1. Alright, I've been waiting about a half hour for my neighbors to stop blowing leaves. Apparently they have a lot of leaves to blow over there because they're still going. I'm going to start this wear test so I don't have this foundation on till like midnight tonight because it's already 10:19. Putting my mic very close to my face, so hopefully you can't hear leaves being blowed. I haven't seen the shade of this at all yet, so hopefully it works. Oh my gosh, this bottle. Even if this foundation looks like pure shit on my skin, I'm just gonna keep this bottle on my desk to stare at all times. I'm gonna give this a major shake since it is a serum foundation. I'm just gonna drop some on my palette. Kind of a weird dropper. But yeah, this is one of those like gloopy droppers where you just have to go in 50 times. I'm gonna start out with about that much. All right, so I've already washed and moisturized. I always link my moisturizer SPF that I use down below in the description box. My dad keeps butt dialing me. Let's start on this side. It smells like very herbal. Doesn't smell bad. I don't mind the scent. If it's like a natural scent, I'll have to see if it's added fragrance, because that usually irritates my skin. Ooh. Okay, shade is a little bit dark. Dang it. Yeah, probably could have gone a shade down or 2 shades down. It looks like very light coverage, but it looks really moisturizing and just like glowy on the skin. But you can still see freckles, scarring, everything coming through, so it definitely looks like light coverage. Okay, I just got way too much, so I'm gonna actually spread that over. I'll still go over with my sponge and just kind of like smooth everything over on my forehead, but I just got a lot. This is looking very glowy. It's really smoothing. It's not like emphasizing any dryness or anything. Oh shoot, I feel like it's oxidizing too. It's getting even darker right now. Where's my sponge at? I gotta go dampen this thing. All right, I've dampened my sponge. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We gotta get a thumbnail real quick. All right, just got a little thumbnail. Dampened my sponge. Let's go in on this side. Sometimes with serum foundations or more like liquidy foundations, the sponge can kind of soak up more, but we'll see how this one does. So far it does look like even a little bit lighter coverage with the sponge. It's not really covering any of my redness on my cheek area. I'm just gonna go over my forehead with my sponge. I think you could use either sponge or brush with this, but I am getting a little bit better coverage on the brush side. I'm gonna go back in with whatever I have left over. A little bit of this does go a long way since it is so liquidy. I'm just gonna build up to see if I can get any more coverage out of this one. As I'm building, I still can't even see it on my skin. It just looks very skin-like. If I had the correct shade in this right now, I don't think I'd be able to see it on my skin besides like the glowiness obviously, but I think it would just look like glowy natural skin because I really can't see the actual product like sitting on my skin. So if I could find a shade that matched my neck really well, I could see myself wearing this on just no makeup days where I want to have a glow and like even everything out but not look like I'm wearing makeup. I don't think that built a whole lot as far as getting more coverage, but let's try right here. You can see there's still like redness coming through on my nose, and it's definitely not covering my scarring right here. So I would still say this is light coverage. Not super buildable. I think if you want the most coverage out of this, go in with a brush and just do 1 layer since you're not going to get a whole lot on second anyways. I'm not going to add more coverage up here. I'm really liking how this is sitting on my skin. I like light coverage if it looks like skin on my skin. It doesn't look like a foundation because then there's just no point if it looks like you're wearing makeup but it's not actually covering a whole lot, if that makes sense. Like if I'm wearing a light coverage foundation, I want it to look like I don't have makeup on, and of course right now it does look like I have makeup on just because you can see like the difference in shade. But again, if I had a shade that really matched me, I think this could look beautiful. It does feel like it's actually setting down a little bit. Like it's getting a little bit less glowy in certain parts, like my nose and around this area. So this might be one that just needs a few minutes to kind of set down. Right now to the touch, it's actually not feeling as like slippery, serum-y as I thought. It feels like it's setting, so I'm gonna wait a few minutes. Right now it is exactly 10:30, so I'm gonna wait a few minutes and see what I want to do as far as powder and everything, see if it kind of sets down a little bit more. Right now I'm really liking how this looks. There's not like one area where it's really clinging weird. If you're looking for medium to full coverage, I would say this one's definitely not for you. Right now, I would say this is for dry skin, light coverage. Maybe if you have more mature skin and you just kind of want to even everything out, or if you just like light coverage, then this one is looking very nice right now. I was planning on filming a second video today, so this might be a scarf day, so you can't see the shade situation. But I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's now 11:03. I've got the scarf on. I am gonna call the check-in time 10:30 since I literally finished up my face stuff like 5 minutes after that. So I've just been doing random things since then and finishing up the rest of my makeup. I actually don't even know if this scarf is helping at all. I feel like it's not because you can still see it. Now let's snay the scarf. So I did have to powder just my cheek area so that I could blend stuff on top. I think if I was wearing this not on a makeup day like this, I probably wouldn't. Because the shade is so off, when I powdered my under eyes, it just looked like so stark of a difference that I felt like I had to powder. But overall, I still think it looks good just looking at the actual foundation, not the color. The middle of my forehead looks nice and smoothing. That's usually where I get a lot of texture and just cakiness. Doesn't seem to be creasing bad around my mouth. Since Nordstrom does carry this, I might just go into the Nordstrom counter to get like shade match to this because I don't want to order another one and then have it be the wrong shade. So I'm gonna tell you guys what's on the rest of my face and then we'll do the flash test and I'll show you natural lighting. So for bronzer, I used my Catrice Prime and Fine. Love this. Ashy Radiance. Used my collab highlight. This is in the shade Glow for the Gold. Blush, I managed to use whatever's left over in here. Lips are L'Oreal Festival. My lashes are Kiss Boudoir. Is that everything? I had some major eyebrow issues today. This one for a hot minute was like up here. It is what it is with the eyebrows. All right, so here we are in natural lighting. I love how it's sitting on my forehead. It looks almost like a little bit plumping. So I already have large pores, but I do feel like they're looking a little bit extra large today. So I would use my Revlon Pore Filling Primer underneath here. Creasing isn't bad around the mouth area. I also forgot to say, I feel like my under eye concealer went on a little bit funky on top of here. It's not looking the best. So I don't know if that's because it's on top of like a serum foundation. The rest of my face I think looks pretty good. So let's do a flash test. Wow, how is it already 11:30? What the heck? So this does have SPF 40 in it. Okay, so when foundation shades are already too dark, it's a little bit tricky to see if there's flashback because it kind of just looks like it matches my face. So because of that, I would say there's a tiny bit. If it was the right shade for me, it might look like a little bit on the light side, but I mean, just looking at this photo, it definitely doesn't look bad at all. Okay, it's 6 hours later. It's now 4:33. Lashes have come off, fuzzy jacket is on, and it's virtually dark out. So I do have one of my filming lights on just right in front so we can all see. So it's almost looking like greasy to me. I like dewy foundation, but what I don't like is when it starts looking almost like oily, like around my nose especially, and of course on my forehead it looks very shiny right now. So I don't think it's separating on my forehead, which is good, but it does look a little bit funky. Are we in focus? Around my pore area. I cannot tell ever if this camera's in focus. You can almost see like where the concealer stops in the foundation. That's not concealer, it's like my powder. It looks like oddly oily or something right here. Creasing doesn't look bad at all. This is like very minimal for me around my upper lip area. Overall, I think if I had, again, the right shade, it would look a lot better, but just overall looking at my face right now, it does look pretty greasy. So we'll see how it wears throughout the rest of the night. I would rather have my face look like this than be like matte and cakey looking. At least this doesn't look like super cakey or anything. So. Okay, it's now the end of the night. It is almost 9 o'clock, so it's been on for 10 hours. I'm currently in Chipotle food coma. Does anyone else get that with Chipotle? Like every time after I eat Chipotle, I feel like I could pass out for like 5 hours. Is it the same thing you get after eating like Thanksgiving? Same spots as before around my nose, all over my forehead. It looks like oily. Look at that. Super oily looking, especially around my nose area again. And then all over my forehead. Also, my under eyes are looking a little bit rough. So because of how greasy this one is looking, I think the only way for $69 that I would feel like this is worth it is if I found a way with like a powder over top and then my Catrice setting spray or something where it looked great. Because right now I get a similar like skin dewy kind of look with either the Lancome one or Zero Life Proof. The Lancome one is more similar in coverage to this one. I might see if I can get just like a sample size of the correct shade and then play around with that sample size and see if I can make it work. $69 is really friggin' expensive for a foundation, so I feel like I have to love it. I am gonna keep doing the foundation follow-ups or foundation updates every probably like month and a half or 2 months, just because that's how long it takes me to like thoroughly try all these out, since I'm trying so many foundations all the time. But that's where I'm at with this foundation. I just paid $15 to watch an old season of The Bachelorette. So Chipotle, season 11 of The Bachelorette. Hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. It does help me out every time you guys thumbs up a video or comment down below. If you want to stick around for more Foundation Fridays, you can subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.